belonged to PBS.
Okay, we're on.
It was so valuable, they said, go ahead and keep it.
Exactly. They didn't give you a digital one, did they?
Okay, thank you, Ricky, for getting that going for us. You're becoming a good technician. And whenever you're ready, sir, get your audio on. You may do a roll call for June 7th, 2010.
Bernie Bassett.
Here.
Thomas Wood.
Here.
Gerard Renadette.
Here.
Martin Manick.
Here.
Paul Lemoyne.
Here.
James Coffey.
Here.
Rick Collins.
Resolution 010-193, approving the minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of May 17, 2010 be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Wood, second. Mr. Lemoyne, any discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Martin Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes. Anyone wishing to address the board this evening? And if not, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into an executive session to discuss bargaining negotiations as per Article 14 of Civil Service Law.
So moved.
Mr. Wood, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Renadette?
Yep.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Martin Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, we stand adjourned for executive session at 6:35.
And we will be back to this.
I can guarantee you this time, Tom, we will be
We will be
back.
back. We have a lot to do.
Full agenda to deal with.
Guaranteed. Brought a lunch, Dan? Shouldn't be.
There's talk going around.
You want to go like this, you know?
You going this time? There we go. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to seek a motion to come out of executive session.
Who's second?
Will we turn the audio tape on?
No.
Be an instant replay.
What are we doing?
Okay.
Okay, we get a motion to come out of executive
So
session. Mr. Renbeck, second. Mr. Wood, any discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Martin Manick. Yes. Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, we are out of executive session at 8:05. We'll continue with our meeting. Resolution 194, Abstract 6A.
Resolved that the abstract of audited claims number 6A-10 1205-1357 for $180,750.45 and abstract 6A-10 236 through 253 prepaid in the amount of $791,201.98 be reviewed and received by the audit committee, and the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
A motion.
So moved.
Mr. Lemoy, a second.
Second.
Mr. Wood, any discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Martin Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, Resolution 195, Building Maintenance and Safety Committee Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Art Bro, Building Maintenance Supervisor for the month of May 2010.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renadette, second. Mr. Mannix, any discussion?
Just a quick comment again, I'm very pleased with the safety committee reports that Mr. Bro has been putting on here. It really helps to keep the board members abreast of what is going on, and that we are addressing any safety issues that are, as they happen.
Okay, any other comments? Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Martin Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes. Resolution 196, Highway Superintendent's Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Fred Levine, Superintendent of Highways, for the month of May 2010.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Lemoy,
Second.
second. Mr. Wood, any discussion?
Yeah, I think that's good that we're burying front yards.
We're burying front yards.
Yeah, third line, we already buried about a dozen front yards.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure.
Anything else?
I'm guessing we want to quantify that and say, I believe that is the ditches.
The dangerous ditches, yeah.
The dangerous, we're not doing front yards.
Right, exactly.
They went from rocks down quite a ways. Actually, it looks really nice if you drive down through there. They've got it all topsoil and seeded now. It looks really good.
And there was some that were at Heritage Heights, people that wanted to get rid of the ditches, this cleans them up. There was culvert pipe that was put in, and the culvert is purchased by the homeowner, not the town. This is to actually reclaim part of the ditch that's there, and it allows the homeowner to keep it mowed, so.
And he eliminates some mosquito breeding grounds around here as well, so it's good work. Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Rennet?
Yes.
Martin Manick? Yes. Paul Moy?
Yes.
Bernie Bass?
Yes, Resolution 197, the Deputy Historian's Monthly Report.
Resolved to receive and place on file the Deputy Historian's Monthly Report for the month of May 2010.
A motion. Mr. Wood, second.
I'll second it.
Mr. Renadette. For the purpose of discussion, I'll just note, I did get a report from our historian, and these really should have been combined. We didn't get it in time for the meeting, but I will speak with both the historian and his deputy to make sure we get a report from the historian if there are, and if there's anything from the deputy, it will be included.
Yeah, I was quite pleased, and I remind people of the 13th of June, the parade in Katyville, and this is the 225th anniversary of the town, and I think that it's good that there's going to be these activities that are happening.
Yeah, and our deputy was very pleased, very proud to be sharing some of his activity. But there is a lot going on. Museum Day was very successful also. I had a chance to hit some of the venues, and you know, really just good stuff in the community, and you know, very pleased. But it is important that we don't have, Marty had brought this to my attention earlier, we have a report from the department, and you know, we'll make sure those get coordinated going forward. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Rennet?
Yes.
Martin Manick?
Yes.
Paul Moy?
Yes.
Bernie Bass?
Yes. Also, I think I shared with a couple of you, the event that we had at Halsey's Corners, I had a chance to meet with the painter who does the watercolorings of some of the battles, just phenomenally talented, does great stuff. I got one that he's about ready to unveil of the battle at Halsey's Corners, and I've invited him to do so at that ceremony in the town of Plattsburgh, as well as you know, doing his reenactment. So that will be really quite an event. So hopefully that will happen. So I didn't see that in there, but we'll get more information on that too. You can mark that in your calendars. Resolution 198, Parks and Recreation Department.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Melanie Defiant, Recreation and Youth Services Director for the month of May 2010.
So moved.
Mr. Manick, second.
Second.
Mr. Renadette, any discussion?
I just would like to draw attention to that last line in her report where she talks about the website. And in the first month that the website's been up and operational, they received 1,053 hits.
Pretty amazing. Those are direct hits to just them. You
And
know,
I'd
it is phenomenal.
like to comment also that the opening of this golf course, the actual grand opening, had been used before. Had quite a few, had 85 attendees, and I'm really glad to see people using it.
And Mel did participate in a Adirondack Tobacco-Free Network interview program with Tom Hollick at PBS. I believe that's going to be aired on the 17th. And I also went down and did some taping for a video they're doing. The work that we've been, I think, really leading the way on with the creating of a healthy community, and is catching on in so many ways, so many discussions and committees that are looking at doing positive things in the community. I was really very pleased that Mel was able to go down and do that taping as well. And as well as it promotes a good thing, it certainly promotes our town as being very actively engaged in the community. So look for that. I believe it's the 17th. I'll share that with you to confirm that. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Rennet?
Yes.
Martin Manick?
Yes.
Paul Moy?
Yes.
Bernie Bass?
Yes. Resolution 199, the town clerk's monthly report.
Resolved to receive a report from Rick Collins, Town Clerk, for the month of May 2010.
A motion.
So moved.
Mr. Lemoy, second.
Second.
Mr. Wood, any discussion?
Anybody missing a copy of that? I have a few extras in my file.
No, I've got the...
Okay.
No.
I think we usually do 2009.
Yeah, I think
Also, we got 2 copies of 2010.
Yeah, I've got 2 copies of 10 also. Maybe you got all the 9s, Marty.
Yeah, these are all 10s.
All 10s?
Yeah.
So do I.
Did you have the 9 in that as well this time, Rick?
I did, but I don't have it either.
Okay. We can ask Deborah about that and just get that thrown in mailboxes
Yep.
for comparative purposes. Okay, any other questions, discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
George Benedek?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Paul Lemoy?
Yes.
Bernie Bass.
Yes. Resolution 200, amending the procedures for the purchase of commodities, equipment, or goods.
Whereas periodically it is necessary for the town of Plattsburgh to make certain revisions to existing policies and to incorporate their revisions herein. And there, whereas the town of Plattsburgh procedures for purchasing commodities, equipment, or goods dated January 6, 1997, revised January 1, 2004, are procedures to be followed by all elected and appointed officials and town employees for the year 2010 for the purchase of commodities, equipment, and goods, for public work projects, contracts for professional services and consultants, for purchase orders, cash disbursement procedures. Therefore, it be resolved that Schedule A and B be amended to increase commodity values and contract values. In the first instance, from $1 to $250 to $1 to $500, and the second instance from $250 to $1,500 to $501 to $1,500 to better reflect current economic values and meet the needs of the departments and the budgeting officer. It is further resolved that the town board, town of Plattsburgh, does hereby authorize and order that purchase order policies and cash disbursement policies, as outlined in all schedules as attached hereto, shall become policy and procedures to the following by the town of Plattsburgh personnel for purchase orders and cash disbursements for the remainder of the year 2010. And it is further in the future, it is further resolved that said policy be incorporated in the town's respective policy handbook and is hereby approved and shall be strictly adhered to by all town and enforced as a statement herein. It is further resolved that said policy is to take effect upon adoption of this resolution, and copies of said policies be distributed accordingly.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Manick, second.
Second.
Mr. Renedek. Discussion. I would also offer that I would like to amend the title of this resolution and simply add "and contract values" to the title. The title references Schedule A. We also want to, I think it would be wise to reference Schedule B, which is contract values. So we just add "and contract values" to the title.
And I think in keeping with that, Bernie, on the first resolved that Schedule A, and I think, and Schedule B be amended to include.
Right, and Ricky read that way, we would amend it, and also in the original copy you had, after, in the same first line, to increase commodity values, add "and contract values,"
Right.
which is Schedule B.
Yep.
So make those amendments to the original.
And the first 2 entries on Schedule B need to be
Correct.
so noted.
And just one other change, the first resolve should read, in
Schedule
the second
A and B.
instance, the second instance from 250 should be 251 to 1,500. I know we're changing it, but the original was 251 to 1,500. It says that.
Oh, 251, correct. Gotcha. Yep, good.
That should catch all of it.
50 and 50 cents, where does it go?
Pardon?
Is there a 50 cents somewhere?
No.
Okay, any other discussion?
Well,
Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Mark Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes. Resolution 201, cellular telephone policy for town of Plattsburgh employees.
Whereas the town has caused to prepare the attached cellular telephone and electronic communication device policies for 2010, and the town board has reviewed and approved the same. And whereas the purpose of this policy is to establish the town of Plattsburgh's position regarding the governing of cellular telephones and electronic communication devices used by employees during the course of employment. And whereas, as an employer, the town of Plattsburgh maintains a strong commitment to providing safe, efficient work environment for its employees and the public they serve. And it is necessary to make policies to achieve that goal. Now therefore be resolved that this said policy is hereby approved and shall be incorporated into the town's respective policy handbook and shall be strictly adhered to by the town and enforced as stated herein. And it is further resolved that the policy is to take effect upon the adoption of this resolution, and the copies of said policy be distributed accordingly.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Lemoyne, second, Tom. Mr. Wood, any discussion? I just picked up off my copy of the policy, one thing that isn't included is a signature sheet. So unless that was inadvertently left off, we will compose a signature sheet that says, you know, I have read, understand, and will comply and sign, and that goes in the personnel file for anyone that has the use of a town cell phone.
This should be by everybody, Bernie, because it includes personal cell phones.
Yeah.
So every employee should.
Good point,
Every
absolutely,
employee.
everybody. Yeah, well, unless, I guess they don't have to, if they don't have anything, but I don't know if that's anybody's.
No, yeah, I would
Might
think
be
you
wise
have to
just
sign
sign
it, whether they say
Then
they
they
have a cell phone
understand
or
it.
not, because that could change
Yeah.
the following weekend.
Just make it universal.
Yep.
Good point, that will be done. If this passes, I should be able to get that communicated at our department head meeting Thursday.
Good.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Mark Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes. Resolution 202, home request number 14 as payment for DHCR disbursement number 18.
Whereas all costs related to said project work has been inspected and approved by a designated rehabilitation specialist who recommends that funds be allocated from the housing trust per the approved quotations for completed work. Therefore be resolved that the town board, town of Plattsburgh, does hereby grant and approve payments in the total amount of $15,770 as payment for DHCR disbursement request number 18 for work related to the project listed as part of the town of Plattsburgh's New York State Home Program Grant Project number 20083-068. And it is further resolved that the town supervisor be authorized to make said payments for the project in accordance with the agreement. And it is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the budget officer and to the bookkeeper.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renadette, second.
Second.
Mr. Lemoyne, any discussion?
Who's our bookkeeper?
Phil Crowe.
Is that his official title as bookkeeper?
As a town employee, yes.
Okay.
You have the signature sheet for that, it says it was taken care of. So-
Yes, oh, yes, I do. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Mark Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne.
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, resolution 203, Dr. Robert Christopherson, LDC Board appointment.
Whereas it is in the best interest of the town of Plattsburgh and the LDC to appoint a 5-member board to review applications and guide the local development corporations to help promote economic development and job creation in the town of Plattsburgh. And whereas Dr. Robert Christopherson, a resident of the town of Plattsburgh, is desirous of participating on the local LDC Board of Directors. Therefore be resolved that Dr. Robert Christopherson be appointed as board member to the LDC Incorporated for a term to expire December 31st, 2014. And it is further resolved that Dr. Robert Christopherson be given the oath of office within 30 days, and a copy of the original copy of said oath be filed with the town clerk. And it is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to Phil Correll, CEO of the LDC, and Mrs. Sears Mack, LDC Board President.
Have a motion.
So,
Mr. Lemoy, second.
Second.
Mr. Renadette, any discussion?
The only thing I would add is Dr. Christopherson is the chairman of the Economics and Finance Department of the School of Business at SUNY Plattsburgh. I've known him for 20 years, and he's a very bright individual, hard-working, real community type of person. It's an excellent choice.
He's also coached youngsters in the town of Plattsburgh, for the town of Plattsburgh, for a number of years, and very pleased to have him joining that group. Very pleased.
Bernie, the other thing we should do is send a copy of this resolution to Dr. Christensen.
I made a note on mine that I will send him a letter of congratulations as well as a certified copy of the resolution. Yes. Okay, anything else? Yes. Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Paul Lemoy?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes. Resolution 204, scheduling public hearings on consolidation of the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District Number 1 and the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District Number 2 consolidated to the Town of Plattsburgh Consolidated Ambulance District.
Whereas there exists within the Town of Plattsburgh, the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District Number 1 and Ambulance District Number 2. And whereas the aforementioned ambulance districts have been created for the similar purpose. And whereas the Town Board is desirous of conducting public hearings pursuant to provisions of Article 17A of the General Municipal Law for the purpose of hearing all persons upon the questioning of consolidating the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District 1 and the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District 2 into a single Town of Plattsburgh Consolidated Ambulance District. In the event of consolidation, the Town Board would pursue an Article 17A of the General Municipal Law to have the Town of Plattsburgh Consolidated Ambulance District become the owners of all property, assets as stated in the ambulance district. Whereas in the event of the consolidation, all expense and operation and maintenance of the consolidated district shall be distributed among the existing ambulance districts in accordance with the existing resolution of the Town Board for financing, operation, and maintenance of the ambulance district. And it is hereafter amended by the Town Board, and there being no existing indebtedness of the aforementioned existing ambulance district, and all future debts, if any, shall be paid from taxes levied ad valorem based on the property within the consolidated district. Now there is an order that the Town Board, Town of Plattsburgh, shall meet and hold a public hearing at the Town Hall, 151 Baker Road, Town of Plattsburgh, New York, at 6:35 p.m. on the 21st day of June 2010, and at 6:35 p.m. on the 26th day of July 2010, to consider the consolidation of the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District 1 and the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District 2 district into a single consolidated ambulance district known as the Town of Plattsburgh Consolidated Ambulance District, and to hear all persons interested in the subject of therefore concerning the same and taking action thereon, and shall be required or authorized by law. And summary of joint consolidation agreement proposed to consolidate the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District 1 and the Town of Plattsburgh Ambulance District 2 pursuant to the provisions of Article 17A, Title II of the General Municipal Law. It is proposed as of January 1, 2011, to consolidate the two existing ambulance districts within the Town of Plattsburgh pursuant to Article 17A, Title II of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York. The purpose of consolidation is to combine the two districts to serve the entire Town of Plattsburgh. Consolidation of the two districts will also make ad valorem tax rate and the changes for services uniform throughout the entire town. It is anticipated that the two districts will function as one depending upon the administrative determinations to be made and proposals received. The service is also to be made the service area outside of the town of Plattsburgh. The purpose of the consolidation agreement, the proposed consolidation agreement is on file in the town of Plattsburgh Town Clerk's Office, 151 Banker Road, Plattsburgh, New York. A copy of the proposed joint consolidation agreement and this summary are displayed upon and available for public inspection at the Town of Plattsburgh Town Clerk's Bulletin Board in the Town of Plattsburgh Town Hall, 151 Banker Road, Plattsburgh, New York, upon the Town of Plattsburgh website. And it is further resolved and determined that the Town Board, Town of Plattsburgh, having been designated as lead agency, such designation shall continue hereafter.
The motion,
So moved.
Mr. Renadin. Second. Mr. Mannix. Any discussion?
Question on the dates of the meetings. We've got one of them in here scheduled for a Saturday. Is that?
June 21st is Monday and July 26th
Oh, July.
is Monday.
I'm sorry. I read it as June.
Okay.
My mistake.
Anything?
I'd just like to add one more thing, that, you know, it's really hoped that what's going to happen here with this consolidation is going to be an equalization of the rates so that everybody will be served. It's going to streamline the service that we've got. Right now, we have one responder that actually crosses the municipal boundaries of the other to go and serve an area. I think that not only will this save the taxpayers some money, but it'll also streamline and make this a more efficient service that we're providing. So I don't see a downside to this. I look forward to hearing any public comments that might arise from the public hearings.
I think also as we get to work on the RFP that we would anticipate sending out, it would be our expectation that we will be able to secure service contracts at a reduced cost from where they are now, and that we will have receivables become the property of the ambulance district and directly benefit the people by reducing their cost. And thirdly, that it will address a pretty substantial misuse of the concept of mutual aid, in that we have a situation where ambulances that we are financing by our contract are being used by the city approximately 500 times a year. And on the other hand, the city is responding for situations in the town of Plattsburgh approximately 35 times a year. And by anyone's definition, that is not mutual aid.
One of the other things I think is important, as you highlight a little bit of the why, is there was little anxiety in the other municipalities that these current ambulance districts also cross and serve. And by resolution, it notes that the proposed consolidation agreement is being designed such that the service may also be made available to areas outside of the town of Plattsburgh. So we want those residents to certainly not feel like they're being abandoned or left out, and there may even be some options for them. I know one other municipality was talking about doing a similar thing where they might want to create a town-wide district. So I think when it's over, we'll all look back and say we're in a better place, doing a better job for a much more equitable rate by having a town-wide.
There are some communities that literally mandate that their ambulance cannot go to other communities. Now, that's actually in violation of a mutual aid agreement, but they nevertheless mandate that. You know, I think our opinion is that's That's not a proper approach. At the same time, we have to find balance. We have to find a way, I mean, the example, and it was first brought to my attention by Jerry, the example is the town of Beacontown is contributing about $35,000 toward the operation of the ambulance service. They get less, they have fewer calls per year than what happens with the city of Plattsburgh. The city of Plattsburgh pays nothing for the ambulance service. So the situation has to become, it has to be addressed, and there has to be a much more fair arrangement put in place.
I would agree, Marty. This consolidation will achieve that because, as you pointed out, the RFP that will be presented will allow us to go back to a situation where that we had some time ago, and which has deteriorated to the point where it's at right now. It allows us to do the right thing all over again, and to do it at a price that would be more than fair to all of the residents of the town of Plattsburgh. For years, we've been subsidizing ambulance service to the city. That's not to say that we don't want to be good neighbors, but at what cost? When you take a look at what we're paying for contractual services with CDPH, and again, as you pointed out, with the number of inequitable runs that are made to the city at zero cost. I mean, the collectibles go to CDPH, and there is no cost for the service, the basic cost of the service of the ambulances. So this will allow us to address all of those issues. Hopefully come to some agreement with the city as a shared service. We talked about that several times. We're not looking to pull the plug. We're looking to do what's right, do what's fair, and treat it as a shared service and not so much as a type of municipal welfare.
Any other discussion?
Bernie, I just think it needs to be part of the public record that Marty Mannix and Gerard Granite need to be complimented for the work they've done on this. I mean, they've spent hours and hours working with the ambulance agencies, the fire districts, and getting us to this point where we can put this document together, and they've done that on behalf of the whole town. Should be commended for that.
Great.
I'll second that.
Okay, anything else? Very good. Let's move it forward and take it the next notch to public hearings. Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Gerard Renadette.
Yes.
Mark Manick.
Yes.
Paul Lemoy.
Yes.
Bernie Bass.
Yes. Resolution 205, setting a public hearing for installation of new rail highway crossings.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh accepted the jurisdiction and maintenance responsibility of certain roadways located on the former Plattsburgh Air Force Base on April 2nd, 2007. And whereas the rail highway crossings on Arizona Avenue, New York Road, Connecticut Road, Idaho Avenue, over the Park Industrial Tract are within the former Plattsburgh Air Force Base and are now the town of Plattsburgh system of highways. And whereas the town of Plattsburgh wishes to cooperate with New York State Department in determining if the subject rail highway crossing should be considered public. Whereas the submitted status of the highway rail crossing does not alter the maintenance responsibility of the crossing, but allows the crossing to be eligible for state and federal funding for safety improvements. Now therefore be resolved that the town of Plattsburgh agrees that the subject highway rail crossings are located on roadways under the jurisdiction of the town of Plattsburgh. And it is further resolved that the town of Plattsburgh maintain the roadways on which the rail highway crossings are located. And it is further resolved that the roadways on which the rail highway crossings are open to the public without discrimination or fee. And it is further resolved that the roadways on which the rail highway crossings are located are an important necessity to the present anticipation transportation needs of the town users of the Park Industrial Park and should offer safe passage for traffic using said road. It is further resolved that the town will make a hearing room available on June 30th from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the town hall on 151 Baker Road in the town of Plattsburgh to the New York State Department of Transportation in order to create a record from which to make determinations of the appropriate status of the rail highway crossings. It is further resolved that the supervisor or designated E and the town attorney are hereby authorized and directed to attend a proposed hearing and to give evidence on behalf of the town of Plattsburgh and the New York State Department of Transportation, DOT, shall cause notice of said order of public hearing to be published in a local newspaper, and the town clerk shall post said notice on a bulletin board located in the clerk's office. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to Mr. Dan Kelly, DOT, Highway Planning and Codes Department for the town of Plattsburgh.
Motion.
So moved.
Mr. Lemoy, do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Renadat, any discussion?
The maintenance of it, that's responsibility of the railroad,
Yes.
and it continues to be, correct?
And there is an amendment, I should point out, next to the last resolve that the supervisor or his designee and/or the town attorney, that should read the supervisor and/or his designee and the town attorney. So what we'd like to see is the supervisor or his designee, the deputy supervisor, and the town attorney to give evidence on behalf of the town, just to clarify that. This is a really good project. Had a number of conversations with Mr. Kelly. He's very, very knowledgeable, very concerned about safe rail crossing. This is really part of our infrastructure and upgrading infrastructure as we anticipate and see the continued development of those properties, the properties on the airport, and traffic increasing. We need to get these crossings taken care of and upgraded. And many times I think we're out there trying to fix things after the fact. This is one where we're really being proactive and making an improvement prior to. So I'm very, very pleased, and I give a lot of credit to Mr. Kelly for bringing this forward and bringing it to our attention and working with us. Any other discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Martin Manick?
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes. Resolution 206, periodic estimate number 5, Moffett Road Water, waiver of lien and completion of water project, Luck Brothers, Inc.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh Town Board has received a fully executed waiver of lien for completion of the Moffett Road Water Project, and whereas the Water Wastewater Department has coordinated an inspection of said report and reports all requirements have been met and completed, and whereas LaBerge Group, engineer for the project, in conjunction with the town's water department, has reviewed, verified, and approved all requirements of said work. Whereas Luck Brothers Incorporated has submitted a request for payment, periodic estimate number 5, for work done on the Moffett Road Water Project for the amount of $48,503.80, less withholding of $7,000 for the Moffett Road repairs, for a total payment due to be $41,503.80. And now therefore be resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to release said funds in the amount of $41,503.80, and that said payment is to be made payable to Luck Brothers Incorporated, 73 Trade Road, Plattsburgh, New York, from the Moffett Road Water Project. And it is further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be forwarded to the LaBerge Group and the Water Department and to the Budget Officer.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Manick, second.
Second.
Mr. Lemoy, any discussion? Roll call.
This is the amount that was withheld originally,
Mhm.
and we're still going to keep a part.
Still going to keep
So
$7,000.
we're returning most of it. We'll keep-
The work is done. Right. Just, there'll be some, there's always something with surfaces, any reconstruction has to be finished, so we'll hold on. Roll call?
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes. Resolution 207, completion of Champlain Park Pump Station Project, Luck Brothers, Inc.
Whereas Luck Brothers Incorporated has completed work outlined in the substantial completion certificate, in addition has reinstalled the pressure transducers as requested. Whereas the Water and Wastewater Department, in coordination with LaBerge Group as engineer for this project, has inspected said project and reports all requirements have been met and work completed. And whereas Luck Brothers Incorporated has submitted requests for a release of retained funds in the amount of $6,000. Now therefore be resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to release said funds in the amount of $6,000, and that payment is to be made payable to Luck Brothers Incorporated, 73 Trade Road, Plattsburgh, New York, from the Champlain Park Pump Station Project. And it is further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be forwarded to LaVerge Group and the Water Department, and a copy will be given to the Budget Office.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renadak, second.
Second.
Mr. Wood, any discussion? One thing I'd like to know, you're probably all aware, but it's worth remaining very sensitive to, is given the issues going on in Albany, there are a number of contractors, including contractors in our community, that have been working, have done a lot of work, and they have not seen payment from the state of New York. And the larger the contractor, the larger the project, and the monies that they have been waiting for, and still trying to keep payroll, not trying to lay people off as well as do the work. And you know, town has always had an extremely good reputation. There have been times where we've really pushed a resolution, even though it got to us a little late, to try and pay the funds that are due to these companies. And you know, I just, you know, personally I feel strong, and I know everyone else sitting here does as well, that we aren't part of the problem. We certainly aren't the solution, but I know these contractors appreciate us moving payment when the work is done. And right now, more than ever, this is important, because some of them, I'm just hearing some horror stories, are so far behind with state funds that should be paid. So I'm glad we can move these along this evening. Anyone have any questions?
You have the signatures.
We have all the signatures. I wouldn't bring them to you without, Tom, but you should always ask, because there could be a day, right? But yes, I have all the signatures before I ever bring them to you. Well, you had the wrong one.
Yeah.
I've got the right one. I don't know how that happened to you, copiers. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Renaday?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Paul Lemoyne?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes, Resolution 208, the appointment of Anne Marie Morgan as alternate to our Board of Ethics.
Whereas the town board passed local law number 2 of 2009, reauthorizing the town of Plattsburgh Board of Ethics. Whereas the town of Plattsburgh Town Board is desirous to appoint new alternate Board of Ethics members. Therefore, be resolved that Anne Marie Morgan be appointed as an alternate to the town of Plattsburgh Board of Ethics Committee for a term to expire December 31st, 2011.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Lemoyne, second.
Second.
I haven't got a clue.
Doesn't matter. Don't worry.
Okay, Mr. Wood. Any discussion?
You got pulled over.
The only thing I would say, I was present at the last meeting. She gave her, say, background. She's had experience in business law, and I believe, Jerry, teaching ethics or introducing an ethics component to her teaching. She lived in Prague for, I think, 7 years, so I think she'll be a wonderful
Yeah.
addition. So.
I would agree, Jim, and I'm hopeful that this resolution, along with the next one, will be received favorably by the town board. It will bring our Board of Ethics up to full strength with 5 members and 2 alternates. We only scheduled to meet 2 times a year, but even with a limited number of meetings, sometimes it's hard to field a quorum, and it's my hope that should we ever have an issue come before the Board of Ethics and we need to have a decision made, that the elected official or the employee of the town have the benefit of a full sitting board to make a decision and give their opinion, rather than just a bare quorum. So I'm really hopeful that the board will treat this favorably. Both Anne Marie and our next volunteer, I think expressed a great desire to serve, and I think they will do a great job.
And I, also be remiss not to compliment you, Gerard. For the past couple of years or more, this has been an issue that you've taken under wing personally. And worked with the board, did not let the reauthorization of the ethics, the Board of Ethics and ethics policy. I know in many times in meetings, you would find the sessions that dealt with ethics. You attended, you had one-on-one conversations, and you got us here. We all know it's very difficult to find volunteers for all the right reasons we could talk about forever. We've added 2 new boards to this town, and they're 2 extremely important boards, I feel. And as you listen to Anne Marie's, and I'm sure we'll have the same, we can have the same comments about Ms. Brockway, our earlier appointment, Dr. Christofferson, we're not only finding volunteers, we're finding people who have knowledge and expertise in what we're asking them to do. And I commend each of you. This has happened consistently with your efforts, not just to find someone. I think politically many times people feel that, well, you get an appointment because, of a political reason and there's a motive. I can honestly say I don't think we've ever had that conversation in this group of 5 about what the affiliations were. We found a highly qualified person, and if you could get them, like Anne Marie, to participate, we felt very pleased. And, again, I commend you. It's been more than a few months, been years on this one also, and but not just making it happen, finding very qualified people in our community and getting them involved in local government is also extremely important, especially when, I mentioned Albany earlier, being involved in government is not real popular with a lot of people. So nice job. These are great individuals. And as noted before, for some reason it's off the resolution. I will send a letter to Anne Marie with a copy of the resolution thanking her for her willingness to volunteer and serve the community. Thank you, George. Any other discussion, comments? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Renada?
Yes.
Martin Mannix?
Yes.
Alden White?
Yes.
Ernie Bassett?
Yes, Resolution 209, the appointment of Sheila Brockway as an alternate to the Board of Ethics.
Whereas the town board passed local law number 2 of 2009, reauthorizing the town board of ethics. And whereas the town of Plattsburgh town board is desirous to appoint new alternate board of ethics members. Therefore be resolved that Sheila Brockway be appointed as an alternate member to the town of Plattsburgh Board of Ethics Committee for a term to expire December 31st, 2011.
Have a motion. Mr. Lemoy, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion?
Again, I would offer that, Sheila has expressed an extreme interest in staying active and helping out the town. A lot of people remember it. She was a town board member. She used to be deputy supervisor. She was very active. Again, this is not the playing of politics. This is somebody who has a genuine interest and concern with what goes on in the town of Plattsburgh, and has expressed a desire to continue to serve the town in any capacity possible. I was very pleased at our last meeting to place Sheila Brockway's name in nomination as an alternate. Sheila was not able to attend that meeting, but she has been at the other meetings in the past, and I think she'll make a great addition to this board. So again, I would hope that the town would receive this nomination favorably.
Thank you. Any other discussion, comments? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Renada?
Yes.
Martin Mannix?
Yes.
Alden White?
Yes.
Ernie Bassett?
Yes. I'm going to get you there, I think, Marty. I don't know how far you have to go, though. Marty had a meeting this evening, later this evening. I don't have anything else on the agenda. I don't know if anyone else does. There are a number of events coming up in the community. We have Dozer Days coming up this weekend, the Katyville Parade. I hope everyone is watching the notes of interest and following the town's website as well. There's just so much activity going on in our community that I want to see everybody out there enjoying it and being active and shutting the TV off and moving about, right?
That's just reruns now anyway.
Yeah, that's right. The cliffhangers is all you're seeing. With that said, if I could get a motion to adjourn.
I think I could move that.
Mr. Renada, second by Mr. Wood. Any discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Gerard Renada?
Yes.
Mark Manick.
Yes.
Paul Moy.
Yes.
Ernie Bassett.
Yes, we'll stand adjourned at 8:53. Drive safe. Katie'ville Parade, we don't need to meet there with 5 different cars. If you want to carpool from my house, we can do that. Are we all walking?